Panic meter time. We're going to focus on the Commanders and the Texans. The Commanders have lost 3 straight after starting the season 7-2. 2 straight home losses after starting 4-0 at home. And I guess we're doing 1 to 10. Are we doing 1 to 10? That's the usual. 1 to 10. Let's do 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest level of panic. Where would you put them right now?
Depending on what you thought. Like, if you're a fan and you like, hey, we got a chance to be in the NFC Championship, yeah, you're on a 9. But like, for the Commanders, it's a 4. Like, this has been a really good year. There's no reason to panic. Like, hey, you've shown that you have a chance to be a good football team. You're not there yet. Don't panic. Continue to process, continue building, continue to do exactly what you're doing. No panic necessary. But if you're Matthew Berry and those crazy Washington fans, yeah, you're probably at 9 right now.
Yeah, this is a house money season. You're going to make the playoffs. I can't imagine. If they blow their playoff spot, that's a different story altogether. But when I look at the standings in the NFC and I look at their remaining schedule, I think it will be very difficult to squander a playoff berth. That's good enough for what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You're trying to rebuild the program. You've gone through 25 years of crap, and you're trying to dig your way out of it. Get to the playoffs the first year. Who knows? Maybe you get lucky in the wild card round. Just get there. Just get there. You're not going to win the Super Bowl this year, and that's fine. Build your program like the Lions have done, like the Eagles have done. The special seasons where you're 1 and 2 on the playoff tree are coming. It feels like that. This is a step toward having that happen. So relative to what their expectations were, I'm with you. Mid-level panic. Now, they lose to the Titans on Sunday, and it's getting up toward 8 or 9, because then it's like, are they going to blow this playoff berth altogether and not make it and not even finish above 500? All right, the Texans, they started 5-1, and they have lost 4 out of 6. They still lead the Colts by 2 games in the AFC South, and they hold the tiebreaker, so the Colts have to make up 3 games with 6 to play. That said, bad division. Texans have kind of fallen off a little bit. What's your panic meter for them?
Mine's at 8, and mine's at 8 for this reason. Not that I thought Houston was going to come in this year and definitely beat Baltimore or beat Kansas City and be in the Super Bowl. Mine's at 8 because you have this dynamic quarterback who everybody has said will be a great quarterback in this league. You're struggling to protect him, but now you've been struggling to protect him for weeks. And it's not just the personnel in the offensive line. There's free blitzers coming sometimes. They haven't figured out how to get their protections clean and block guys week in and week out. So my panic meter is high for that reason, because you don't want CJ Stroud to regress because he can't ever get back in the pocket and process things and do things the right way, and he starts to develop bad habits.
I thought coming into the season, the biggest problem the Texans would eventually have is Bobby Slowick's going to get hired as a head coach somewhere else after the season. Probably not, given the way the offense has performed this year. Because, look, teams, they benefited from anonymity last year. They were as dysfunctional gets going into the season. They won the games they were supposed to. They lost the games they were supposed to. They stumble into the playoffs by winning the final Saturday night of the season, a game that could have gone either way. They dismantle the Browns in the wild card round, and they did give the Ravens a tough first half, but that created a bar that was too high. I think it is high. It's around 8. I'll say 8.5, because we came into this year thinking, oh, the Texans, they're ready to take the next step. And from time to time, Devin, I say that the 7 teams that make it in the AFC to the playoffs, given the way that conference is, any of them can make it all the way. I need to start saying all but one. The Texans are the one that I look at and say they're not going to be able to, because they don't have a signature road win the last 2 years, and their only significant win that stands out is beating the Bills earlier this year in Houston. They can't go on the road and win.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know where they turn it. And the problem now is you look at Denver, and I know the Chargers lost last night, but Denver, Miami, like, these teams are starting to play some of their best ball. So I think it's trouble right now for Houston, and unless they can get some of these issues fixed and protection, because we've watched CJ Stroud just not look as confident and as good as he's looked, even back from week 4 or 5 of his rookie year.
Those wins in September and into October are money in the bank when it's time to figure out who makes the playoffs and who doesn't. But it's how you play. Bill Belichick, football season starts at Thanksgiving. How do you play from here on out? Because the teams that play well now and down the stretch and get in, those are the teams that are going to be ready to make noise when it's time to get to the postseason. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.